In a distant future, an alien diplomat named Xylara is tasked with understanding human society, often perceived as weak and inferior by her own race, the Arcanites. Xylara views humans with a mix of curiosity and disdain, focusing on their apparent fragility and emotional volatility. Her perspective shifts dramatically when she encounters a human child, Lucy, during a crisis. Forced to rescue Lucy from danger, Xylara experiences firsthand the resilience, compassion, and determination that characterize humanity. This journey challenges her preconceptions and reveals the hidden strength within human weakness. And so, the story begins. Xylara stepped out of her transport, the crisp air of Earth hitting her skin as she took in the bustling cityscape before her. The architecture was a mishmash of styles, some ancient and weathered, others gleaming and new, all packed together in a vibrant tapestry of human life. She found it both chaotic and fascinating, a stark contrast to the orderly elegance of Arcanite cities. As she moved through the crowded streets, her translator earpiece buzzing with the myriad languages spoken around her, Xylara observed the humans with a mixture of curiosity and skepticism. They seemed so fragile, so emotionally volatile, yet there was a strange energy about them. Laughter and chatter filled the air, punctuated by the occasional shout or burst of music. The smell of street food, spicy, sweet, and savory, tempted her senses, though she remained focused on her mission. Her first meeting with human diplomats was cordial but tense. Seated in a sleek conference room high above the city, Xylara listened as the human representatives spoke of peace and cooperation. They emphasized their shared goals and mutual benefits, but she could sense their underlying anxiety. The Arcanites were powerful and advanced, and the humans were keenly aware of their own vulnerabilities. "I hope you find our efforts satisfactory, Ambassador Xylara," said Ambassador Johnson, a middle-aged man with graying hair and a kind smile. "We believe that our two species can achieve great things together." Xylara nodded, her expression neutral. "I appreciate your hospitality and your words, Ambassador Johnson. Our people are eager to learn from one another." As the meeting continued, Xylara's attention wandered to the human art and artifacts displayed around the room. There was a painting of a stormy sea, its waves crashing with violent beauty, and a sculpture of a mother holding her child, their faces etched with tenderness and hope. These pieces spoke volumes about human emotions and experiences, hinting at depths she had not considered. After the meeting, Xylara was given a tour of the city. Her guide, a young woman named Maria, pointed out landmarks and explained their significance. They visited a bustling marketplace where vendors hawked their goods, the air thick with the scent of spices and freshly baked bread. Xylara marveled at the diversity of goods and the vibrant interactions between people. "Here, try this," Maria said, handing Xylara a small, round pastry. "It's called a donut." Xylara hesitated, but then took a bite, her senses immediately flooded with the sweet, rich taste. "It's quite pleasant," she admitted, earning a smile from Maria. As they continued their tour, Xylara noticed a small figure darting through the crowd. A child with wide eyes and a gap-toothed smile stared up at her in wonder. Before Xylara could react, the child ran up and tugged at her sleeve. "Hi, I'm Lucy. Are you an alien?" the child asked, her voice filled with innocent curiosity. Xylara blinked, taken aback. "Yes, I am Xylara, an ambassador from the Arcanite people." "Cool," Lucy exclaimed, her eyes shining with excitement. "Do you have a spaceship? Can you do magic?" Maria rushed over, apologizing profusely. "I'm so sorry, Ambassador Xylara. This is my daughter, Lucy. She's very curious." Xylara waved off the apology, her interest piqued by the child's unabashed curiosity. "It's quite all right. She has a lively spirit." Lucy continued to bombard Xylara with questions, her enthusiasm infectious. Xylara found herself smiling, a rare occurrence. This small human with her boundless energy and genuine interest was a stark contrast to the formal, guarded interactions she had experienced so far. As the day came to an end, Xylara reflected on her experiences. Humans were more complex than she had anticipated. Their emotions, their creativity, and their resilience intrigued her. For the first time, she began to see value in their apparent weaknesses. The following day, Xylara attended a cultural exchange event designed to showcase the richness of human art, music, and literature. The venue was a large cultural center, its halls filled with vibrant displays and the sound of live performances. Xylara walked through the crowd, her senses overwhelmed by the sheer variety and intensity of human creativity. She paused before a large mural depicting scenes from human history, triumphs and tragedies, joy and sorrow. The colors were bold, the brushstrokes passionate. It was a visual testament to the human spirit, resilient and indomitable. Xylara felt a pang of admiration, mixed with a lingering skepticism. "Ambassador Xylara," a voice called out. She turned to see Ambassador Johnson approaching, accompanied by several other diplomats. "I'm glad you could join us. This event is very important to us." Xylara nodded. "It is impressive. Your people have a unique way of expressing themselves." As they conversed, a small commotion caught Xylara's attention. She turned to see Lucy, once again, weaving through the crowd. The child had somehow managed to slip into the event, her wide eyes taking in the sights with unabashed excitement. "Lucy," Maria exclaimed, hurrying over. "You can't be here. This is a formal event." Xylara, however, smiled. "It's quite all right. She brings a certain energy to the proceedings." Lucy beamed at Xylara, her face lighting up. "Hi again. Have you seen the paintings? They're so pretty." Xylara knelt down to Lucy's level. "Yes, I have. They are very beautiful. Do you enjoy art?" Lucy nodded vigorously. "Aha, I like to draw too. Maybe one day I can show you my drawings." The child's innocent enthusiasm was a stark contrast to the formal atmosphere of the event. It was refreshing, and Xylara found herself drawn to Lucy's unfiltered view of the world. As the evening progressed, Xylara reluctantly participated in a human festival. The music was loud, the food abundant, and the atmosphere electric. She was initially uncomfortable, but Lucy's infectious energy soon had her smiling and even laughing. At one point, a minor crisis erupted. A small fire broke out in one of the food stalls, causing panic. Xylara watched in amazement as the humans quickly organized, working together to extinguish the flames and ensure everyone's safety. Their resilience and solidarity were on full display, and Xylara couldn't help but be impressed. Later, as the event wound down, Xylara and Lucy found a quiet corner to sit and talk. Lucy shared stories about her life, her dreams, and her love for art. Xylara listened, captivated by the child's openness and honesty. "You know, Lucy," Xylara said softly, "you have taught me a great deal about your people. You are very brave and kind." Lucy smiled, her eyes shining with pride. "Thank you, Xylara. I'm glad you're my friend." As they sat together, Xylara felt a profound sense of connection. She had come to Earth with a mission to understand, and now, thanks to a small child, she was beginning to see humanity in a new light. The next day dawned bright and clear, the city bustling with its usual activity. Xylara was in her quarters, reviewing her notes from the previous day's events, when the ground beneath her feet began to tremble. At first she thought it was merely a mild tremor, but the vibrations quickly intensified, rattling the room and sending objects crashing to the floor. An alarm blared throughout the building, a high-pitched wail that sent a chill down her spine. Rushing to the window, Xylara saw chaos unfolding outside. Buildings swayed precariously, and plumes of smoke rose from several points in the city. People were screaming, running in all directions, trying to find safety. Xylara grabbed her communicator and activated it. "This is Ambassador Xylara. What is happening?" A harried voice crackled through the device. "Ambassador, a major earthquake has struck the city. We need to evacuate immediately." Her mind raced. In the midst of this chaos, one thought stood out: Lucy. The child had been a constant presence in her thoughts, her innocent curiosity a bright spot in Xylara's mission. She had to find her. With a sense of urgency, Xylara sprinted out of her quarters and into the hallways, dodging debris and helping people where she could. The scene outside was one of utter devastation. Buildings lay in ruins, cars overturned, and the air was thick with dust and smoke. She spotted a group of emergency responders directing people to a safer area and hurried over. "Have you seen a child named Lucy? She's about this tall, with brown hair," Xylara asked, her voice strained. One of the responders shook his head. "I'm sorry, Mom. We're trying to get everyone to safety. If she's out here, we'll find her." Determined, Xylara activated a small device from her toolkit, a piece of Arcanite technology designed for scanning and locating life signs. She swept the area, focusing on the signals it detected. Her heart pounded as she navigated through the rubble, following the faint readings. Amidst the chaos, Xylara's device pinged with a stronger signal. She turned a corner and saw Lucy, huddled under a collapsed structure, her eyes wide with fear. Without hesitation, Xylara rushed to her side. "Lucy, are you hurt?" Xylara called out, her voice gentle but urgent. Lucy looked up, tears streaming down her face. "I'm scared, Xylara. I can't move my leg. It's stuck." Xylara's heart ached at the sight of the frightened child. She knelt beside Lucy, examining the debris pinning her leg. Carefully, she used her strength to lift the heavy beam just enough to free Lucy's leg. The child winced in pain, but Xylara reassured her, gently lifting her into her arms. "It's going to be okay, Lucy. I've got you," Xylara said, her voice soothing. Carrying Lucy, Xylara navigated back through the wreckage, the child clinging to her. The sight of people banding together, helping each other despite their own fear and pain, left a deep impression on her. This was the resilience and solidarity of humanity. They reached the evacuation point, where medics quickly took Lucy to assess her injuries. Xylara watched with a mixture of relief and concern as they tended to the child. One of the medics turned to her and smiled. "She's going to be all right. Thanks to you." Xylara nodded, her heart swelling with an unfamiliar warmth. She had seen human weakness and vulnerability, but she had also witnessed their incredible strength in the face of adversity. Her perception was shifting, the walls of her skepticism beginning to crumble. As night fell, the city still reeled from the earthquake, but the people had already begun the arduous task of recovery. Xylara stayed with Lucy, holding her hand as she slept, her thoughts racing. She had come to Earth to understand humanity, and in the midst of disaster, she had glimpsed their true nature. The morning after the earthquake, the city was a scene of determined recovery. Rescue teams combed through the rubble, pulling survivors from the wreckage and providing medical aid. Xylara, still shaken by the events, found herself helping where she could, using her advanced technology to assist in locating trapped individuals. Lucy, her leg bandaged but otherwise unharmed, stayed close to Xylara. The child's resilience and optimism were astonishing. Despite the fear and pain she had experienced, Lucy smiled and encouraged others, her spirit unbroken. "Thank you for saving me," Lucy said softly as they sat together, watching the rescue efforts. "I was so scared, but I knew you would come." Xylara looked down at the child, her heart swelling with a mix of emotions. "You are very brave, Lucy. I'm glad I could help." As the day progressed, Xylara and Lucy joined a group of volunteers working on clearing debris and setting up temporary shelters. The sense of community and solidarity was palpable. People shared food, offered comfort, and worked tirelessly side by side. It was a humbling experience for Xylara, witnessing the strength of human spirit in action. Later, Xylara attended a meeting with human and Arcanite leaders to discuss the recovery efforts and future cooperation. The atmosphere was somber but hopeful. The earthquake had been devastating, but it had also brought the two species closer together. Ambassador Johnson spoke first. "We have seen the worst of nature's fury, but we have also seen the best of humanity's resilience. Our cooperation with the Arcanites has been invaluable, and we are committed to continuing this partnership." Xylara nodded in agreement. "We have much to learn from each other. The Arcanite people stand ready to assist in any way we can." As the meeting continued, plans were made for rebuilding the city and enhancing infrastructure to better withstand future disasters. There was a shared sense of purpose and determination, a feeling that together they could overcome any challenge. That evening, a ceremony was held to honor the bravery of those who had risked their lives to save others. Xylara was recognized for her efforts, and as she stood before the gathered crowd, she felt a deep sense of connection to these people. "Today I have seen the true strength of humanity," Xylara said, her voice steady. "In the face of adversity, you have shown courage, compassion, and unity. It is an honor to stand with you." The crowd erupted in applause, and Xylara felt a warmth she had never known before. This mission had changed her in ways she had not anticipated. She had come to Earth to understand humans, and in the process she had discovered a new perspective on strength and resilience. As the ceremony ended, Xylara and Lucy found a quiet spot to sit and reflect. The stars twinkled overhead, a reminder of the vast universe and the possibilities it held. "Do you think we'll be friends forever?" Xylara Lucy asked, her voice filled with hope. Xylara smiled, her heart full. "Yes, Lucy, I believe we will be. Our bond is strong, and together we can face anything." In the days that followed, Xylara continued to assist with the rebuilding efforts, using her technology to help stabilize structures and enhance the city's defenses. The work was hard, but the progress was tangible. The city was coming back to life, stronger and more resilient than before. Human and Arcanite leaders met frequently, discussing ways to strengthen their alliance and share knowledge. There was a genuine desire to learn from each other, to build a future where both species could thrive. One afternoon, as Xylara and Lucy walked through a newly constructed park, the child looked up at her with a thoughtful expression. "What will you do when you go back to your planet, Xylara?" Xylara paused, considering the question. "I will take with me all that I have learned here, and I will share it with my people. We have much to gain from understanding each other, and I hope that our worlds will grow closer because of it." Lucy nodded, satisfied with the answer. "I'm glad you came to Earth, Xylara. You've made a big difference." Xylara felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had come to Earth with doubts and preconceptions, but she was leaving with a profound respect for humanity. They were not weak, they were strong in ways she had never imagined. As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the city, Xylara and Lucy sat together, their bond a testament to the power of understanding and empathy. They had faced adversity and come out stronger, united by their shared experiences and the promise of a brighter future. In the aftermath of the disaster, Xylara felt a profound sense of responsibility and purpose. She knew that the bond between humans and Arcanites needed to be strengthened, and she had several ideas on how to achieve this. Gathering her thoughts, she proposed a series of new initiatives aimed at fostering deeper cooperation between their species. The human leaders were initially taken aback by her proactive stance. Ambassador Johnson voiced the thoughts of many. "Ambassador Xylara, these are ambitious proposals. Integrating our scientific research and sharing technological advancements. It's a significant step." Xylara nodded. "It is. But if our cooperation during the disaster taught us anything, it's that we are stronger together. We can achieve so much more if we combine our strengths and learn from each other." There was a murmur of agreement, though some skepticism lingered. Xylara understood their hesitation. Trust had to be built, and it would take time. However, she was determined to pave the way. Lucy, now a symbol of hope and resilience after her ordeal, became an integral part of these efforts. Her presence at meetings and events served as a reminder of what they were working towards, a future where their children could grow up in a world united in peace and progress. One of the first major events was a joint cultural festival, showcasing the arts, traditions, and achievements of both species. The venue was a blend of human and Arcanite aesthetics, a testament to their budding alliance. Colorful decorations filled the space, and the air buzzed with excitement. Xylara and Lucy arrived together, the child's eyes wide with wonder. "Wow, Xylara, this is amazing. Look at all the people." Xylara smiled, feeling a warmth she had come to associate with Lucy's presence. "Yes, it is quite a sight. I hope you enjoy it, Lucy." They walked through the festival, taking in the sights and sounds. There were musical performances, art displays, and food stalls offering a fusion of human and Arcanite cuisine. The smell of exotic spices and familiar scents mingled in the air, creating an enticing atmosphere. Discussions about shared scientific and technological advancements were held in a dedicated pavilion. Here, human and Arcanite scientists mingled, exchanging ideas and showcasing their latest projects. It was a sight that filled Xylara with hope. As the festival continued, a minor incident threatened to disrupt the harmony. A misunderstanding between a human vendor and an Arcanite attendee escalated into a heated argument. Tensions rose, and a crowd began to gather. Xylara quickly intervened, her presence commanding attention. "Enough," she said firmly. "We are here to celebrate our unity, not to be divided by misunderstandings. Let us resolve this peacefully." With her mediation, the misunderstanding was cleared up, and the tension dissipated. The incident served as a reminder of the challenges they still faced, but also highlighted the importance of their efforts to build trust. That evening, as the festival drew to a close, Xylara and Lucy sat by a fountain, watching the crowd. "You did great today," Lucy said, her voice filled with admiration. "You made everyone calm down." Xylara smiled, her heart full. "Thank you, Lucy. We all have a part to play in this. Together we can make a difference." As the stars began to twinkle overhead, Xylara felt a deep sense of satisfaction. The festival had been a success, and the bond between their people had grown stronger. There would be challenges ahead, but she was ready to face them, knowing that together they could achieve anything. The following months saw the beginning of several joint human Arcanite projects. High-tech laboratories and collaborative workspaces buzzed with activity as scientists from both species worked side by side. The spirit of cooperation was palpable, and Xylara was at the forefront, ensuring that the projects ran smoothly. One of the most ambitious projects was the development of a new energy source, combining human ingenuity with Arcanite technology. It was a complex undertaking, but the potential benefits were enormous. Xylara spent long hours in the labs, working alongside the scientists, her respect for human creativity growing with each passing day. During this time, Xylara and Lucy grew even closer. They often shared stories and experiences, their bond deepening with each conversation. Lucy's bravery and optimism were a constant source of inspiration for Xylara. One day, as they walked through the bustling lab, Lucy faced a personal challenge. She had been trying to learn a complex Arcanite puzzle game, but was struggling to understand it. Frustrated, she looked up at Xylara. "I can't do it, Xylara. It's too hard." Xylara knelt beside her, her voice gentle. "Lucy, you are one of the bravest and smartest people I know. Challenges are just opportunities to learn. Let's figure this out together." With Xylara's guidance, Lucy slowly began to understand the puzzle. Her face lit up with excitement as she made progress. "I did it. I really did it." Xylara's heart swelled with pride. "Yes, you did. I knew you could." The success of their joint projects culminated in a grand celebration. The event was held in a large auditorium filled with scientists, diplomats, and other dignitaries. The atmosphere was electric, a testament to their achievements. As Xylara looked around, she felt an overwhelming sense of pride and accomplishment. She had come a long way from her initial skepticism, and now she stood among friends and allies. The celebration began with speeches, toasts, and acknowledgments. Human and Arcanite leaders spoke of their shared successes and the promise of future collaborations. The sight of their two species united in purpose filled Xylara with hope. During the festivities, Lucy stood on stage, her eyes shining with excitement. "I want to thank everyone for believing in us. We've done amazing things, and I know we can do even more together. Let's keep working hard and make our dreams come true." The crowd erupted in applause, and Xylara felt tears prick at her eyes. This child, who had once been a symbol of fragility, now stood as a beacon of hope and determination. As the night progressed, Xylara found herself reflecting on her journey. She had come to Earth to understand humanity, and in doing so, she had discovered the strength of their spirit. The bonds they had forged were strong, and the future looked bright. Later, as they walked through the quiet halls of the lab, Lucy looked up at Xylara. "What's next, Xylara?" Xylara smiled, her heart full of hope. "We have many more projects to work on, many more challenges to overcome. but I know that together we can achieve anything. With Lucy by her side and the support of their newfound allies, Xylara felt ready to face whatever the future held. They had come far, but their journey was only beginning. Together, they would build a better world, united in purpose and spirit. The harmonious progress between humans and Arcanites was abruptly interrupted by a new external threat. An unknown force began attacking the city, their motives unclear, but their intentions unmistakably hostile. The attack was swift and brutal, catching everyone off guard. Xylara and Lucy were caught in the initial wave of the assault. Explosions rocked the ground beneath them, and the sky filled with smoke and fire. Panic spread like wildfire, but Xylara's training kicked in. She grabbed Lucy and ducked behind a sturdy wall, shielding the child with her own body. "Stay close to me," Lucy Xylara said, her voice calm and steady despite the chaos. "We need to find shelter and help the others." Lucy nodded, her face pale but determined. They moved quickly, dodging debris and helping those they encountered along the way. Xylara used her advanced technology to communicate with both human and Arcanite leaders, coordinating a defense effort. Within hours, a makeshift command center was established in a fortified building. Leaders from both species convened to strategize a counterattack. The atmosphere was tense but resolute. This threat was unlike anything they had faced before, and unity was their only hope for survival. "Ambassador Xylara, what's our status?" Ambassador Johnson asked, his face lined with worry. Xylara's eyes were fierce with determination. "We've managed to secure a perimeter, but the enemy is relentless. We need to mobilize all our resources and coordinate our efforts. This is a test of our unity." The room fell silent as everyone absorbed the gravity of the situation. Then, with a collective resolve, they began to plan their counteroffensive. Outside, the battle raged on. Xylara and Lucy worked together to help the wounded, using Arcanite medical technology to stabilize injuries and save lives. The sight of humans and Arcanites fighting side by side, protecting each other, was a powerful testament to their alliance. Lucy's bravery shone through as she comforted those in pain and provided water and supplies to the soldiers. Xylara marveled at the child's courage and compassion, her admiration for humanity growing deeper with each passing moment. As night fell, the coordinated defense efforts began to turn the tide. Human and Arcanite leaders strategized a bold counterattack. They identified the enemy's weak points and launched a series of calculated strikes. The battle was fierce, the stakes high, but their unity proved to be their greatest strength. In the midst of the chaos, Xylara and Lucy found themselves on the front lines, working tirelessly to support the fighters. The sight of destruction and heroism filled their senses, the sound of explosions and battle cries, the smell of smoke and burning materials, the touch of rough medical supplies, the taste of rations, and the sight of destruction and heroic efforts all around them. Finally, after hours of relentless combat, victory was within reach. The enemy forces began to retreat, their assault repelled by the combined might of humans and Arcanites. The cost had been high, with significant losses on both sides, but they had prevailed. Exhausted but triumphant, Xylara stood with Lucy, surveying the aftermath. The city was scarred and battered, but their spirit remained unbroken. "We did it," Lucy whispered, her voice filled with awe and relief. Xylara nodded, her heart swelling with pride. "Yes, we did. Together." The victory was bittersweet, the losses heavy. But as they began to regroup and tend to the wounded, a new sense of determination filled the air. They had faced adversity together and emerged stronger. The bond between humans and Arcanites had been tested in the crucible of battle and had proven unbreakable. In the wake of the battle, the city began the slow and painful process of recovery. The scars of the conflict were everywhere: destroyed buildings, shattered lives, and a palpable sense of loss. But there was also a renewed sense of hope and determination. Humans and Arcanites worked side by side to rebuild, their bond stronger than ever. A memorial was held for those who had fallen in the battle. It was a somber ceremony, filled with quiet reflection and poignant memories. Xylara and Lucy stood together at the memorial site, the names of the fallen etched into a monument that glowed softly in the evening light. Tears filled Lucy's eyes as she read the names. So many brave people, she whispered. Xylara placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. Their sacrifice will not be forgotten. They fought for a future where our two species can live in peace and harmony. The ceremony was a powerful reminder of the cost of their unity, but it also underscored the strength and resilience that had brought them together. As the last words were spoken, a sense of resolve filled the air. They would honor the fallen by continuing to build the future they had fought for. Discussions about rebuilding and future defenses took on a new urgency. Leaders from both species met frequently, planning initiatives for deeper cooperation. They proposed new projects that would enhance their technological capabilities and strengthen their alliance. Xylara reflected on her journey, her perspective forever changed by her experiences. She had come to Earth with skepticism and prejudice, but she was leaving with a profound respect and admiration for humanity. Their strength, compassion, and resilience had transformed her understanding of what it meant to be strong. Plans for a joint human Arcanite exploration mission were unveiled, symbolizing their commitment to a shared future. The mission would take them to new frontiers, exploring the vastness of space together. It was a bold and ambitious endeavor, but it was also a testament to how far they had come. At the announcement ceremony, Xylara and Lucy stood together, their bond a symbol of the unity they had fought so hard to achieve. Leaders from both species spoke of their hopes and dreams for the future, their words filled with optimism and determination. "We have faced many challenges," Ambassador Johnson said, his voice strong and confident. "But we have also achieved great things together. This mission represents our shared vision for a future where humans and Arcanites explore the stars side by side, united in purpose and spirit." The crowd erupted in applause, their enthusiasm infectious. Xylara felt a deep sense of pride and fulfillment. They had come a long way, and their journey was only beginning. As the ceremony concluded, Xylara and Lucy shared a quiet moment together. The stars twinkled overhead, a reminder of the infinite possibilities that lay ahead. "What do you think the future holds for us?" Xylara Lucy asked, her eyes shining with hope. Xylara smiled, her heart full. "I think it holds great things, Lucy. We have proven that together we can overcome any challenge. The future is bright, and I am excited to see where it takes us." With the support of their allies and the strength of their unity, Xylara felt ready to face whatever the future held. They had built a bond that was unbreakable, and together, they would explore the vastness of space, forging a new path for their two species. As they looked up at the stars, Xylara knew that their journey was just beginning. The challenges ahead would be great, but so too were the possibilities. With Lucy by her side and the strength of their alliance behind them, Xylara felt a profound sense of hope and determination. Together they would build a future that was truly worthy of the sacrifices they had made.